Okay, geometry. You can find me on page 621. We're going to look at number 1 and 3 at the very bottom of this page, all the way down there, okay? It says find value of x. All right, so real quick, let's see what we have here. I want you to look at these two lines, just like these two lines over here, and think back to the first part of this chapter. What type of lines are those? What type of lines touch a circle twice but don't go through the circle? Hopefully you came up with that they're both chords, right? They're both chords, all right? So we have two intersecting chords. Intersecting mean they're crossing. And then we have the arcs and a couple of angles here, right? And I'm going to explain what's going on in a second. But just remember that this 70 degrees is talking about from here to here. Hopefully you can see that in the blue. And this 190 is talking about how many degrees it is from here to here. All right, so remember that this is not the center of the circle, right? Neither is this. So we're going to have to do something slightly different than what we've done. Luckily, I have a very easy formula for you guys to use, and it's this, okay? We're going to say angle equals 1/2 of arc plus arc, okay? And we're literally just going to plug those things into this formula here. So let's look up here. Do we have an angle? Well, yeah, the x's, right? See, so this is an angle right there. It's asking how many degrees that is. All right, so we'll put x in for angle, okay? We'll say equals 1/2, right? Now we just add the arcs, arc plus arc. So you can say 70 plus, that's a 70 plus 190. And I think what you get is 260, right? So 70 plus 90 is 260. What's 1/2 of 260? Go ahead and divide that, or you can times them, right? Times 260 by 1/2, or divide it by 2. Either way, x should then equal half of 260 is 130. Okay, so this is like the average, right? The average of 190 and 70 is 130. Okay, and that's how we do the average here, right? Because we have two things, we're dividing it by 2. Let's move over to number 3 and see if you can't spot the difference between problem 3, again at the bottom of 621. See if you can't see the difference between problem 3 and problem 1. Well, this time they gave us the angle, right? Last time angle was the x. This time they gave us the angle. We need to find the arc. Okay, so let's just go ahead and plug stuff in. What is our angle? 72, right? So I'm going to say 72 equals 1/2. Now we got to say arc plus arc, so I have x, right? One of the arcs is x plus, all right, I got a 99 over here, right? I got a 99 over here. Okay, so a lot of you guys might be thinking, hey, we should probably distribute this 1/2, which we could do, right? But the problem is then we get 1/2 of x and we get, 40, we're going to get a decimal. What's 1/2 of 99? It's 44.5, so that's not very good. Another thing we can do is we can move this 1/2 over here, right? What's happening between this fraction and the parentheses here? So, well, they're timesing. So to do the opposite, we would divide. Well, how do we divide by a fraction? You have to times by the reciprocal, right? Flip and times. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. So if we times this by 2, we times this by 2, it will cancel with the 1/2. All right, so let's just do some math here. What's 2 times 72? Check me in your calculator. It should be 144. We still have an x plus 99 over here. And this time we'll subtract the 99. All right, and it looks like 144 minus 99 should be 45 degrees. Okay. All right. So that's doing it a little backwards there. Remember, we can times the 1/2 to the other side. Okay, so let's go over a page. We're going to look at some more chords. Okay, this is 622. And this is problem 4 down at the bottom. Okay, you see we have two chords this time, but did they give us angles? Did they give us arcs? No, right? All they've done is they've told us how far each part of the chord is. This part in the red is x, right? It's like x feet, right? This part, this purple part, is 12 feet, all right? This little part over here is 6 feet, and this would be like 12, right? The black part. So remember, we have different things than we did here, right? They gave us arcs and degrees and angles. This one we have parts, okay? We have parts. So this one's a pretty easy. I also have a formula for this, okay? And it's called, let's see here. I say part times part equals part times part. All right, so it's pretty simple. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so if we take the two parts that are on a line, right, these two parts, so it's like these two. Okay, you can't pick parts that are on different lines. We have to use the ones that are on the same line. So we want to say 12 times 6. So 12 times 6. And then the other two parts, which are on the other line, are 12 and x. So over here we have 12 times x. So what is 12 times 6? I think if you check in your calculator, you should get 72 equals 12x. And how do we divide by 12? Should give us 6. So x should equal 6 in this problem. Okay? All right, now it won't always be that way, right? It's not going to be like 12 and 12 and 6 and 6 every time. Let's look at 7. Okay, let's look at 7. And I'm going to real quick draw this thing over here. Still on the bottom, right? We have that part and this part. So we have x and 8 and 4 and 10. So remember, the parts that we choose have to be on the same line. So I'm going to say 4 times 10 is 40, right? Part times part is 40. And over here I've got x times 8, or 8x, right? 8 times x. This time we'll divide by 8, and you'll see this time we get all different numbers. 40 divided by 8 is 5. That x is 5 inches or whatever, okay? Whatever they are labeling it with. All right, guys, so you got the first formula, and then you got the second formula right here, part times part equals part times part. If you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I want you to try a couple of problems for me. So scoot over to, actually, it's almost there. Let's go over to page 623. I want you to try number 5 and 7 and 13. If you have any questions, please let me know. All right? Otherwise, good luck to you.